The origins of gelato, Italy's sweet tradition. Gelato, Italy's beloved frozen dessert, is a symbol of the nation's culinary heritage and creativity. While gelato today is celebrated worldwide for its rich texture, intense flavors, and artisanal preparation, its origins trace back to ancient times. Gelato's story is woven through centuries of experimentation, refinement, and cultural exchange, ultimately evolving into the creamy dessert we know today. Understanding the history of gelato means not only looking at the ingredients and techniques that brought it to life, but also appreciating the social and cultural influences that shaped its development. To understand the origins of gelato, we must first travel back to ancient civilizations. Long before gelato appeared in its modern form, people in ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, Greece, and Rome developed a fascination with icy, sweetened beverages. The earliest form of frozen treats involved snow or ice, gathered from mountaintops, mixed with fruit juices or honey to create refreshing delicacies. In ancient Persia, around 500 BC, people created a dessert similar to a sorbet using grape juice and snow. These icy drinks were not only consumed for pleasure but also played a part in important ceremonies and feasts. However, while these early concoctions share similarities with modern frozen desserts, they were not the rich, dairy-based gelato we know today. The Roman Empire, known for its opulence and love of lavish banquets, took the idea of frozen treats even further. Wealthy Romans would import snow from the Alps, flavoring it with honey, fruit, or wine to create a primitive form of granita or sorbet. Roman emperors, such as Nero, reportedly had runners gather ice from the mountains to mix with various flavorings for their enjoyment during banquets. These early frozen treats were considered a luxury, reserved for the elite. Although these ancient versions of frozen desserts laid the groundwork for gelato, they lacked the key ingredients, such as milk or cream, that would later distinguish gelato from other frozen delights. The turning point in the evolution of gelato came with the expansion of Arab influence into Europe, particularly in Sicily, during the 9th century. The Arabs introduced new techniques and ingredients that would have a profound impact on the development of gelato. One of their most significant contributions was the use of sugar as a sweetener, replacing honey, which had been traditionally used in earlier versions of frozen desserts. Sugar made it easier to create smoother, more consistent frozen mixtures. The Arabs also brought with them a wide array of exotic fruits, spices, and nuts, including citrus fruits, almonds, and pistachios, which would later become essential flavors in traditional Italian gelato. In Sicily, Arab methods of making sharbat, an early form of sorbet, using ice and sugar, combined with local ingredients like lemons and oranges, began to evolve. Sicily's warm climate and access to ice from Mount Etna allowed for the perfect conditions to refine the art of making sorbetto, a precursor to gelato. The Arabs' knowledge of using salt to lower the freezing point of ice, thus allowing mixtures to freeze more uniformly, was a crucial innovation in the journey toward gelato. This technique would later be adapted and improved in the creation of gelato, resulting in a smoother, creamier texture. The Renaissance period in Italy, spanning the 14th to 17th centuries, is often credited as the time when gelato in its recognizable form truly began to emerge. It was during this period of cultural rebirth and artistic innovation that the Italians took the concept of frozen desserts to new heights. The courts of Florence, in particular, played a central role in the development of gelato. Caterina de' Medici, a member of the powerful Medici family, is often cited as a key figure in the history of gelato. When Caterina married the future King Henry II of France in 1533, she brought with her a team of Florentine chefs, including a man named Ruggieri, who had mastered the art of making frozen desserts. Ruggieri's frozen dessert was a hit at the French court, and his creations became famous throughout Europe. While the details of Ruggieri's exact recipe remain unclear, his influence helped spread the Italian love for frozen treats beyond Italy's borders. At the same time, another key figure emerged in the history of gelato, Bernardo Buontalenti, a Florentine architect and artist. Buontalenti is often credited with inventing the first true gelato. In addition to his architectural work, Buontalenti was a talented chef, and he developed a recipe that included milk, eggs, and sugar, along with fruit and wine for flavor. His version of gelato was richer and creamier than the sorbets of the past, thanks to the addition of dairy, which would become a defining characteristic of gelato. Buontalenti presented his gelato to the court of the Medici in the late 16th century, and it was met with great enthusiasm. His innovation not only refined the texture and flavor of frozen desserts, but also laid the foundation for the gelato we enjoy today. While Buontalenti's contribution is widely acknowledged, it's important to note that many Italian regions and families contributed to the development of gelato, each adding their own variations and techniques to the process. Following the Renaissance, gelato's popularity continued to grow across Italy. Each region developed its own unique flavors and methods of preparation, influenced by local ingredients and traditions. In the north of Italy, particularly in the regions of Lombardy and Piedmont, gelato was made using a base of cream and egg yolks, resulting in a richer, more custard-like consistency. In contrast, the southern regions, especially Sicily, preferred to use water and fruit in their gelato, creating a lighter, more refreshing dessert. Sicilian gelato often retained the influence of Arab traditions, with flavors like pistachio, almond, and citrus remaining popular. Gelato makers, known as gelatieri, became skilled artisans, perfecting their craft and passing down their knowledge through generations. The process of making gelato remained labor-intensive and was often done by hand, using simple tools and natural ingredients. Unlike modern ice cream, which is churned at high speeds to incorporate air and increase volume, traditional gelato is churned slowly, resulting in a denser, more flavorful product. The use of fresh, local ingredients was a hallmark of gelato making, with flavors varying according to the seasons and the availability of fruits, nuts, and dairy. In recent decades, there has been a resurgence of interest in artisanal gelato, both in Italy and around the world. Gelato festivals, competitions, and specialized gelato shops have helped to preserve and celebrate the tradition of making gelato by hand, using natural ingredients and time-honored techniques. Today, gelato is enjoyed in countless flavors, from classic options like vanilla, chocolate, and pistachio to more innovative combinations such as lavender and honey or fig and ricotta. Gelato's origins are deeply intertwined with Italy's history, culture, and geography. From its humble beginnings as an icy treat in ancient civilizations to its refinement during the Renaissance and its global spread in the modern era, gelato has evolved into a symbol of Italian craftsmanship and culinary excellence. Despite the rise of industrial ice cream, artisanal gelato remains beloved for its quality, flavor, and connection to tradition. Today, gelato continues to bring joy to people around the world, offering a taste of Italy's sweet heritage with every bite.